Hello and welcome to my next class of General Paper 1. Today we'll begin with the topic of learners' characteristics and adults' learner characteristics. In our previous class, I taught you about the teaching aptitude, or you can say the levels of teaching. That was really very important, and what teaching is all about, the characteristics of teaching. If you have not gone through that video, please go and check my video of teaching aptitude. So here we begin, but before that, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Please share as much as you can and like my video. So beginning with this, who is the learner? We start our acquisition from the time we take birth. The very time we are on this earth or we take birth, we start our acquisition, we start our learning. Our first teachers are our parents. Means सबसे पहले हमारे parents ही हमारे teachers होते हैं. And then they send us to school. When a child starts his school, he or she is an immature being. When we go to school, we are small and we don't know, we are an immature learner and we don't have any knowledge. We have some incomplete knowledge. Then is a process where our incomplete knowledge is given a light and we learn many things. We also learn our culture and social values. Then we become a good citizen. So here I'm just trying to point out that a learner is someone, and if he wants to become a good citizen, then in a school premise he learns his culture and the social values that are given by his or her teachers. He learns that and then becomes a good learner or a good citizen. And from an immature being, he or she becomes a mature one. An incomplete knowledge becomes a complete one. So who is a learner? From our childhood, we start learning things. When we are in our childhood period, we learn things through pictures and through symbols, and then we start speaking different words, and then comes the time where we write. And that is our school premise, where we start learning things which will help us, that will motivate us so that we can achieve our aim in future. Right? Now, taking this in detail and moving according to the syllabus. Please, to all the learners, I request, I am moving syllabus wise, so each and every point is really very important. This is a general paper and you can grab marks. यहाँ पे आपको अच्छे marks मिल सकते हैं. Please follow my classes. Regularly, I am going to upload my videos on this general paper 1. So don't forget to subscribe my channel so that you can follow my classes. Now moving on to the characteristics. Now what characteristics? Now when we say about the characteristics of learner, we will learn the characteristics of adolescence. Now what is this adolescence? Adolescence is a time when a child is at the age of 12 to 13. That means a child is developing from his childhood to adulthood. Now he is going to be an adult learner, and so there are different changes in his life, be it his academics, be it its mental, physical, social, all sorts of changes are there. So this adolescence period is the most difficult time, because here the learner is an immature one, and every time he do something or he goes for anything to do, there is a conflict between his emotions and values. He is unable to understand that what is good for him or bad for him. So this is the period of adolescence. Remember that adolescence period is between the age of 12 to 13. Correct? Now, this adolescence, according to this, we will see the important characteristics of adolescence reflected through various dimensions of development. We know that we have different dimensions through which our development is reflected. So is with everyone. We have also gone through this age, and everyone will go through this time, this adolescence period, right? So the very first point, if we see the important characteristics, then adolescent as a learner and characteristics when when a learner is in academics. One should organize the teaching process in order to help learner with their physical, mental, religious development. Education of a child also helps in knowing the philosophy of life. Now, when we talk about academics, this is the responsibility of teacher, that they should organize the learning process so that a learner can be helped in their physical development. Education is also one thing where a child develops and learn many things. He gains his mental level. He also have different things in the social mode, and he starts understanding the philosophy of life. There is also religious development. For all, there should be an educate teaching method. That means a proper teaching should be provided to the learner. Why? Because this is the time when emotionally, if we talk about, there is an energy present that makes a hope for future of that learner. That means there is a tide that begins to rise in the youth time, right? So this period of academics, there should be a proper or educate teaching methods should be there, so that a learner can be helped through his physical development, mental development, religious development. So education is really very important so that a learner can understand the philosophy of life. Now moving on to the next characteristics as an adolescent learner, that is cognitive. Now when we talk about cognitive means something related to brain, that means mental abilities. So here learner develop within self. He he have a wide imagination, he have sharp thinking, and creativity is one of the factors that affects a learner. That means there is a development in his mental abilities. उनकी mental abilities बढ़ती हैं, उनकी imagination बहुत versatile हो जाती है, बहुत wide हो जाती है, दूर की सोचना जिसे हम कहते हैं, and they have difference in the interest. उनको और चीज़ों में इंटरेस्ट आने लगता है, वो अपने हिसाब से इंटरेस्ट की चीज़ें देखने लगते हैं और अपने में क्रिएटिव हो जाते हैं. They are self creative, right? So this is the characteristics of cognitive. Now moving on, now we say adolescent as a learner and characteristics of social development. यहाँ पे क्या आएगा? Characteristics of social development. Social development learner में कैसे होता है? Learner needs guidance and counseling in order to prepare themselves for future. Now when a child is being social, if we see from childhood to the adulthood, We are social, and it depends in our childhood, it depends on the environment and the social people outside to how we are going to learn. But when we are small, there is a stability in our social adjustment. But when we become an adult learner, there is a problem in adjustment. So learner here needs a guidance, a proper guidance and counseling by his teachers and parents both, so that they can prepare their mind for future. They should know the difference between good and bad. Because at this age, there is an attraction towards the opposite gender, right? There are group sacrifices, but in order to prepare themselves for future, they need proper guidance and counseling, right? Now moving ahead with other characteristics, that is an emotional development. At this age, there is an emotional conflict. That means change in behavior and anxiety in behavior. When we talk about the emotions, because they are growing up and there is a continuous conflict, as I told you कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है, और बिहेवियर में चेंज के साथ साथ नेचर में भी चेंज आता है. कुछ स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं स्टार्टिंग में, दे आर वेरी एंथुजियास्टिक, वेरी पैशनेट, एंड सडनली दे बिकम क्वाइट. So everyone asks, what a change in nature. So everyone changes. So in their adulthood, everyone, there is a change in nature. एंड सबके बिहेवियर में एक एंजाइटी देखने को मिलती है. देयर इज एंथुजियाज्म, स्टेबिलिटी नहीं होती है बहुत ज़्यादा, और इंटरेस्ट में भी स्टेबिलिटी आती है. इंटरेस्ट में स्टेबिलिटी कैसे, वो अपनी चीज़ें खुद देख लेते हैं कि क्या क्रिएटिव दे वांट टू डू और व्हाट दे वांट टू बिकम. सो हियर कम्स द इमोशनल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. Now we will talk about the motivation. Motivation. What is motivation? This word motivation, it is derived from a Latin word that is motum. That means move, motion, right? Motivation is something with an inner force which drives one behavior towards their goal. When we motivate someone, like I always motivate my learners so that they can achieve their goal, so that you all can become net people. In the coming net examination, I can proudly tell all that these are my students who got qualified in net, right? So today my hard work or your hard work will give you what? You will achieve your goal, right? Whatever you aimed at. Everyone, in this world of competition, everyone wants to become something or the other. हर कोई कुछ बनना चाहता है, but could not. Why? Because या तो proper guidance नहीं है, या हमारे अंदर थोड़ा hard work नहीं है. So if we make these things together, I'm trying to guide at my best. जो मैं अपना बेस्ट दे सकती हूँ, आई एम गिविंग थ्रू दीज लेक्चर्स. पेपर 1 में क्योंकि सबको प्रॉब्लम होती है, एंड पेपर 2, आई एम सॉरी टू अदर्स, बट माई सब्जेक्ट इज लिटरेचर. लिटरेचर पीपल कैन सी माई वीडियो, एंड योर हार्ड वर्क will, I assure you that you will qualify each and every exam. So this is something we call motivation. I'm trying to motivate you all so that now the inner force will drive you so that you can achieve your goal. So in fact, motivation is a process of arousing and running some activity, right? So this is motivation. When we talk about the components of motivation, there are 3 things: need, drive, and incentive. When we talk about need, it is a state of tension where a learner is in a state of tension, and in his internal states he need a source of energy. For example, if a learner is hungry, so if he gets food is an incentive for him. So he got something that will satisfy his behavior, right? So जो उनका state of tension है वो resolve हो जाएगा for a time being. ऐसे ही सिर्फ हंगर की बात नहीं है. There are situations in life, there are activities in life where a learner needs motivation so that he can come up, ओवरकम कर सके स्टेट ऑफ टेंशन को और एंजाइटी को. ठीक है, तो पहला क्या होता है कंपोनेंट? नीड, ड्राइव, इंसेंटिव. दैट मीन्स नीड गिव्स राइज टू ड्राइव. ठीक है, और वहां पे जो ड्राइव होता है वहां पे वो जो बिहेवियर होता है उसको ओवरलुक करता है कि क्या सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी मिल सके, और जब उसको इंसेंटिव मिल जाता है तो ही इज सेटिस्फाइड बाय दैट. सो इट गोज दैट वे. अगर कहीं पर एग्जाम में पूछ लिया जाए कि 3 कंपोनेंट्स को प्रॉपरली अरेंज करें तो सबसे पहले नीड, ड्राइव एंड इंसेंटिव, NDI. Please remember this. This is important, right? So here we end with our lecture. My main goal, you can say, or my aim for these lectures is just to help you all so that you don't panic at the times of your exam. 5-10 minutes, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 15 minutes का एक lecture you go through and you will learn everything. You need not search for books and then internet. You just have a complete material here. Regular lectures and regular studies will help you. So thank you, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.